You see this number, this is the forge. Yesterday it was 30k, now it's spiking over 80k. I'm going to tell you why this means something terrible for the state of Roblox right now. Let me explain. About a month ago, I came across a devlog for this game. Knowing how the state of Roblox currently is, new games with hype videos are usually overhyped buns or they never actually release. So I was neither impressed nor did I think much of it. I had to admit though, that they talked about a unique concept, blacksmithing. But honestly, it resembled Fisch so much, so I just assumed it was just a Fisch copy and kept scrolling. Well, that is until the actual release. When this game hit my For You page with 30k players, I knew I had to check it out. I started playing and honestly, I didn't like the game that much. The animations weren't that clean and it was kinda hard to parry. And I almost quit, but I just bared through it. I was mining, I was forging, and then I realized I was in the second world and I had spent hours playing. I finished my first play session at level 30. The more I played, the better and more immersive it became. I actually started mastering the combat, the mining, and forging better weapons with better materials. It's safe to say I was proven wrong. This game is actually peak. And it's nothing like repetitive Fisch. I know it's hard to admit, but it might even be the best game Roblox has gotten in a year. First, you need to know what the game is about if you don't already. It seems simple on the outside, but there's so many little things to the game that I like. The game is all about mining, PvE, and obviously forging weapons and armor to be able to fight stronger NPCs, and obviously get a better pickaxe to mine better rocks. That's the most simplified explanation I could have given, but there's so much more to the game that other popular games do not have. PvE actually takes skill, first of all, and I know y'all only care about fighting. That's me too to some extent. I never thought I would see a game this popular that actually takes skill. When fighting mobs in the cave, it's not brain dead combat. It's not one of those anime fighting simulator things where there's a red pattern on the ground and you just dash away and spam M once. No, mobs have actual swings. They have a fighting pattern, kinda like in Pokken. You have to dodge or parry attacks. Although blocking works, it still kinda damages you, so mainly try to parry and dodge. Because if you don't, believe it or not, you can actually die in this game. It's not ultra easy like Jutsu Infinite. Now, there are many different mobs you can fight. Some are easier than others, but what actually makes this game hard is getting jumped by multiple mobs at the same time. They actually have crazy damage. PvE is probably my favorite part of the game, and I would assume y'all's too. But we also have mining and forging. Mining is not the most fun thing in the game, let's be real, but as someone who actually enjoys Ultimate Mining Tycoon, don't ask why, I don't hate it too much. The good thing about mining is that you don't actually have to mine for 5 hours, or AFK overnight, like you would in Fisch with macros. I don't even think you can macro in this game. There's actually various methods of effective mining. If you're playing the game with friends, all of y'all can redeem the codes and get the totems of luck and mining, and then sip luck potions and mining potions and go to a mining place with lots of rocks close together so you can mine like 2 or 3 at the same time. I've genuinely gotten 5 legendary ores in the span of 10 minutes doing this and used it to craft better weapons and armor. Speaking of forging, this might actually be one of my favorite parts of the game. You might be asking why, and the reason is there's so much variety. Imagine you're playing a normal anime RPG and there's crafting. You can only craft out of a small variety of options already given to you, and there's not much fun in that. But in this game, you literally have more than 1,000 variations of things to craft, and you don't choose your sword. The sword chooses you a moment. Yes, it's kinda RNG, but what you craft really heavily depends on how good the ores you put in are, and how many you put in. And you can even kinda manipulate the chances of what type of weapon you wanna get. Whether you want to get a katana or gauntlets. You just add more things, or remove some ores, or add better quality ores. It's simple. But the best thing about forging is that the designs are rarely ever the same, so you don't even know what you're gonna get. Overall, forging feels unique, and there's multiple dimensions to forging than in normal crafting games, which I actually mess with. And I don't know if I should say this, but if Relsies had this kind of forging, the game would be even more peak. But please just release the game instead, please. That's probably the reason why the game is getting so many players right now. It's because of the variety of forging. What you forge is always kinda unique. Now, how did the devs actually make this game so it's got this much variety? And I have to admit, they're actually smart. They didn't make 3D models that look too good. Instead, they replicated it 1,000 times. Hear me out. The rocks. There's only like 6 or 7 types of rocks in the game, and they all look relatively the same. It's just the sizes that are different. The mobs. They're either zombies in the first world or skeletons in the second. And more likely than not, they just reuse the same 3D models, change sizes, colors, added weapons to create stronger versions of the mob, and that's it. Second, I kinda noticed that fighting patterns don't change all that much between different mobs. They all double attack the same way and kinda do the same things. And third, let's say you're forging a sword. Most of the time a sword looks in the same shape every single time. It's a sword after all. But what changes is the color, the material, and little details like whether it's rusty or not. Overall, the game was made very efficiently, but it still doesn't feel repetitive for some reason, which is good. And that's probably because of the storyline and quests. Yes, I thought Roblox player base became a little too stupid for storylines, and they all became RNG 24/7. But this game, thankfully, has storylines and quests. But it's also not a banning beer, and I'm thankful for that. The reason why is because you can only get a quest once. It's not like Block Swords where you need to do the same quest 7,000 times, or pay Robux for double XP to do less repetitiveness. Now, the quests in the game might feel repetitive for some because there are some quests like eliminate 30 of each type of skeletons, but if you take all the quests at once and have like 10 quests stacked up, it actually isn't that bad. Now, before y'all say I'm glazing, let me tell you all the things I do not like about the game. I don't like the fact I have to eliminate so many of the same type of NPCs, especially if you don't have 10 side quests at once. Then you're cooked, especially when you get better gear and it kinda feels easy to fight these NPCs. Second, I feel like the game needs more content really soon, because the thing is with these Brainrot games, they never actually run out of content, because it's just the same loop all over again. But here, once you get the best materials in the second world and you finish all the quests, get the best pickaxe, the best gear, you need to go to the third world, which I hope the devs are currently making and reinvesting into the game, because looking how popular the game got in a few days, I really think it could be the most popular game in Roblox very soon. It has so much potential. Third, the fact that the game got so popular means more iPad kids are gonna wanna play the game. And I genuinely hope the devs don't get too greedy and nerf all the mobs to the ground so that all the iPad kids can play the game on mobile without a struggle. Because I don't know if anything got nerfed, but I feel like when I first started playing the game on release and I fought the first world zombies, I feel like they were stronger than now. I just hope that doesn't happen to the entire game. Now, should I say this is the greatest game we've ever gotten? Obviously no, the game isn't all that. However, current Roblox games aren't a tough crowd to beat in quality, and Roblox is so dry. People are out here playing raw Brainrot, who will literally play anything at this point. And Forge is just a little glimmer of hope because the game actually does have potential, but we will see if the devs update it frequently enough and if they don't get too greedy and nerf the difficulty to the ground so more iPad kids start playing. It's genuinely nearly December and we haven't heard anything from RLCs in 2 months, and RLCs was originally meant to release last year at this time. I'm genuinely losing hope in RLCs with every passing day. Roblox has just been going downhill for the past year, but when Forge came out I was actually surprised that a game that actually has pairing and actually takes skill can get 300k players, and it's not Brainrot. Now, as I've said before, is this the greatest game? Obviously no, but I would rather have the Forge being the first game on Roblox with the most players than 99 Nights or steal a Brainrot. And that low-key might actually happen because the game literally went from 30k to 200k players in a day. And I think in the next week it's probably gonna be like 500k players. I genuinely think this could be #1 game on Roblox. No glaze. What I think would be a good addition to the game is PvP, because in this game there's absolutely no PvP, but if they could make a game mode or a zone where PvP is allowed, that could genuinely be peak. Another thing they could add to the game, now this might be a little more risky, but if they could add abilities, that might actually make the game a lot more better. Now, I don't know if that's a good idea, I don't know how that would impact the player base, but honestly, it could be a good addition to the game, as well as classes. Another thing is bosses, because I know I'm not end-to-end game, but I haven't encountered any bosses. And if they added some bosses, I think that would actually make the game a lot better, actually. I'm talking Elden Ring type bosses. You have to fight with 5 other players. Also, another thing that's annoying is whenever I'm trying to macro, there's like 55 other people also trying to macro. But overall, I actually think it's a really good game, especially for a game with 300k players. But tell me what y'all think about the game in the comments. Don't say the game is trash without saying any reasons, because the game really isn't Brainrot. Also, subscribe, like the video, and join my Discord. I have this very active Discord, so make sure you join it.